From inconvenience to people of Mumbai to some relief coming in for consumers across the country, because yesterday the Consumer Protection Authority, which comes under the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, decided to ban hotels and restaurants from levying a service charge by default. The measure puts an end to unfair trade practices and a violation of consumer rights. Now, this comes amid rising complaints of unfair service taxes. Previously, remember, service charges were fixed at high arbitrary rates, is what the Consumer Affairs body came out and said, that to stop this arbitrarily fixing of rates and to put an end to unfair trade practices, this decision has been taken because there were several complaints that came to the fore of harassment as well. If consumers ask these restaurants and hotels to remove that service charge, but now the new guidelines have come to the fore and no customer will be charged a service tax by default in hotels and restaurants. So if you like the service, you pay a tip as per your choice. If there is any anomaly, if there is any breach of that particular guideline, you can also register a complaint against the said establishment. Now, Times Now tried to speak to some of those establishments, some of those consumers as well. Listen in to what they had to say.
It's a big relief to the customer because restaurants don't have authority to add service charges in the bill. I am in the Villeparle. Let's talk to the people, how they feel, what kind of relief they got because of this decision.
As a customer, it was really misleading and confusing the customers because they were paying the GST also and the service charge also. So it is a big relief for them. They don't have to bear the extra cost, and rather than charging service charge, they are already charging GST. So this doesn't make any sense to charge service charge also.
So it doesn't make any sense to charge service charges if a restaurant is charging central GST and state GST. Let's talk to the customer again. Let's talk their reason.
It's a good move by government, and due to this, we will get benefit of that, and we will have some relief from the prices and That's a good move from the government.
So people are saying it's a good move by the team that they have. It's not allowed. They are not allowing to add the service charge. So let's talk to the more customer.
Definitely, it's a big relief. सर्व्हिस चार्ज तर भरायला लागणार नाही आम्हाला. आणि माझा एकच मुद्दा आहे, घरी आपल्याकडे कोणी पाहुणे आले तर आपण म्हणतो ना, अतिथी देवो भव. तुम्ही त्यांची सेवा करा. तुम्ही फूड आयटम्समध्ये ऑलरेडी सगळं इन्क्लूड केलेलं आहे. सो देर इज नो क्वेश्चन ऑफ बिंग सर्व्हिस चार्जेस. आणि आता वेव ऑफ केले ते चांगलंच आहे, बट इट शुड हॅव बीन डन पहिलं.
So as you have heard from the customer, the decision should have been taken before. And if a restaurant is adding their profit into the food, and if they are charging central GST and state GST as well, so there is no use of adding service charges as well. If we like the services, we'll definitely get tips to the waiters and everything. So it's a good relief for the customer, as they are saying.
Now, that was a report from Mumbai, but this move has divided the consumers. It has divided the establishments as well of restaurants and hotels across the country. We tried to speak to people on both sides of that divide. Listen in.
I think that is a good move, stating that we are already aware about it, that service charges voluntarily. It could be either, it's about customer discretion, that whether I have to pay it or not. So from that perspective, we find it as a good move, since many of us may not be comfortable with paying the service.
So I feel it's a good decision because since they include taxes in part of GST, so we pay our service charges through GST. So why should we pay a separate tax in the term of service charge? So I think it's a good thing. Just in case if you want to pay the server, you can just tip him in by any chance.
So I don't think it's actually a very good decision, because the service charge that we pay to like restaurants and hotels and stuff actually goes for people who are working there, and they kind of do earn that money. I know the management works hard, but the staff works even harder. So I don't think it's fair to not pay service charge, because it's their livelihood and we can't take that away from them.
Okay, so firstly, I don't think it's a good idea, because the past few years we've all been hit by the pandemic, and so have the restaurants. Their business hasn't been going on as usual. So service charges are a way that they make money, and maybe this wasn't the right time for a decision, because things are just getting back to